Dreams, by their very nature, are borderless things. As children, in our most creative state, we dream unrestrictedly. We see possibilities and not boundaries. We imagine without regard for the required resources. We see a borderless, boundless world. Our imagination is fed by stories, ideas, and possibilities without discriminating where these ideas come from. A child would imagine that they can be an astronaut even if their country does not have a space program. We wake up, however, to borders, boundaries, and limited resources. Be it a dream for a unique career, a radical business idea, or a social policy or intervention, we are forced always to locate our ambitions within the context of our locations as starting points. We hold the tension between what we envision and the resources of our local space. So how does one dream with an imagination that embraces all possibilities while managing the constraints of their spaces? How do we dream openly within boundaries? Since childhood, I've carried this question. Every day, I've woken up from borderless dreams to the reality that I live on a small, beautiful island, Trinidad and Tobago. The shorelines of islands form natural boundaries, but beyond that, islands struggle with a number of constraints: small domestic markets, limited natural resources, a high dependence on imports, and fragile natural environments. These constraints limit the type of entrepreneurship that is viable and consequently the types of jobs that exist. As a child, my first dream was to be a robotics scientist. And my first encounter with boundaries came through being encouraged to leave the island to think about a career like that abroad. In fact, my mom wanted me to be born in America so that I would have access to more opportunities, in theory, than what exists right here on the island. As fate would have it, I was born and raised right here. And as an adult, my dream changed. And I found myself working with artists, poets, performers around the shared dream of developing a sustainable sector for the literary arts. What if, instead of asking how we achieve our dreams, we start by asking, where do our dreams come from? Where did I get my dream? Implicit in this question is the suggestion that the sources of our dreams also provide hints on the conditions which are important to their success. I imported my dream of a sustainable performance art sector from examples of Broadway in New York and London. The population, the income levels, the infrastructure, the history of these cities play an important role in how artists' careers are sustained there. As human beings, we naturally import dreams. And it's beautiful because we consider and embrace the full set of possibilities of our humanity. And we personalize what resonates with us. But in importing dreams, we often take them out of the conditions in which they occur and seek to plant them in our own. An imported dream always challenges local conditions. Across academia and industry, there's a common underscoring of the importance of having context-informed approaches and strategies, be it in entrepreneurship or social interventions or policy. Yet, many of our countries have education systems modeled off of former colonial rulers. Education systems that systematically ignore teaching us enough about our local context. How do we dream with a deep understanding of who we are if we don't understand our history, our geography, our economic conditions, our local biodiversity, and our culture? We need better career data. Better career data could help us to identify where our dreams require business plans instead of job applications, and where it calls on us to become pioneers who embrace the challenge of a nascent young industry and adopts approaches to develop, understand, explore, and build their dream. What if, instead of asking, how does our dream fit home, we ask, where do our dreams truly fit? There's the dream that belongs to where we are, but there's also the dream that is borderless. The dream that calls on us to leave that which we are familiar and become And in becoming the best versions of ourselves, wherever in the world that may be, our ability to make a contribution is not diminished. Professor Godfrey Baldacchino, he challenges our use of this idea, this narrow term brain drain, instead calling us to rethink it with the concept of brain rotation. Brain rotation is a concept based on a growing body of evidence showing that island development is actually accelerated through the leaving and returning of ideas, expertise, and capital from diaspora communities. Even when our dreams don't fit, we don't have to leave our homes behind. So how do we dream within the boundaries of our homes? We ask this question because our dreams nourish our lives with meaning, and our homes give us a sense of identity. And we live in that intersection of both. And perhaps our challenge and our struggle is not within the boundaries of our homes, but also within the limitations of our questions, so that we can dream with new eyes.